All right. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Raw Law Unfiltered with your host, none other than the DUI Guy Plus, also known as Dress to the Nines DUI Guy Plus. Today, we're going to be talking about something we have not touched on in quite some time. If you all remember, last we left them, we had a case down in California, in the Central District of California. This is a federal case. There are actually two of them that are concurrently pending. You have the first case of New York Marine suing Amber Heard and Travelers Insurance kind of intervening in that case. That's a kind of our primary culprit. And then you have the side case of Travelers suing New York Marine Insurance, trying to recoup their expenses. So we have these two cases, okay? And last we left them, the video that I made was a while ago, so you may not remember. We're going to revisit it just very, very briefly to kind of recap and rehash and remind everyone where we are, especially since there has not been a whole lot of traction in that case as of May 28th, 2023. But we do have a few golden nuggets that we have to dig up that we can't simply, leave on their own. All right, so let's take a look. On March 11th, that's how long it has been. March 11th, I posted this video, and this was the conclusion. The Judge Wu in the New York Marine versus Amber Heard case has completely shut down Amber Heard's counterclaims. Let's just revisit that real quick. If you remember, Judge Wu said this was the tentative order. Okay, this was back in March 9th, I believe. The court will dismiss Heard's breach of contract counterclaim. Bye-bye. Likely without leave to amend. More than likely. Okay. The court will dismiss her implied covenant counterclaim with leave to amend. So you are permitted to amend it if you so desire. The court need not resolve New York Marine's alternative request for a more definite statement, as that request appears to be moot, as the court has very aptly indicated. It denies New York Marine's alternative request to strike as to the language in paragraph 25, but it grants the motion with leave to amend with respect to paragraphs 7 through 16, because if you remember, it was all that fluff language from their website that Amber was like, well, you're putting yourself out to be like this amazing insurance company that like covers everybody, like no matter what. And so like, you should cover me because like I'm Amber. And the court was like, no. With the exception of the last bullet point of paragraph 16, at which point the court grants the motion to strike without leave to amend. Bye-bye. Okay. So that was March 9th, the tentative order. Okay. So that very neatly and nicely, if you don't remember, hopefully that kind of refreshes your memory. It has been, almost 3 months. And in the last 3 months, not a whole lot has really been happening other than, first and foremost, that we have to cover is the Judge Wu essentially saying, hey, remember that order I told you all about? Well, I am instituting it. On March 17th, about a week after I made that video, I think I was already back from Colorado at the time, order on plaintiff and counter defendants, New York Marine and General Insurance Company's motion to dismiss, alternatively for a more definite statement, and the motion to strike. And Judge Wu just basically rehashes. We don't need to read this again, but essentially on March 13th, they're saying, look, we had this motion. It came on the regularly for a hearing in courtroom 9D in the United States District Court for the Central District of California before Honorable Judge Wu presiding. And present at the hearing were counsel for plaintiff and counter defendant New York Marine and Nicholas Booz for Travelers, plaintiff in the consolidated case. And having read New York Marine's motion to dismiss, its supporting and related paperwork, the opposition filed by Ms. Heard, and there was oral argument of the parties thereon. And for those reasons, to the extent set forth therein, it is hereby ordered. Okay, this is an order. This language right here, this is what you need to know. By the way, welcome Astrid Vissers as a member. Thank you for joining. And Vanessa Allison, thank you for joining on as members. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the channel. The court adopts. Boom. Hold on. I need a sip. I need a sip. Hold up. Hold up. I need a sip. A sip of the majestic pint glass. All right. The court adopts as its final ruling on the matter in the tentative ruling that I wrote about a week ago for the reasons and to the extent set forth herein. New York Marine's motion is granted in part, like I said, denied in part. When I say I mean Judge Wu, like I said. Additionally, New York Marine's requests for judicial notice and requests for consideration of materials pursuant to the incorporation by reference doctrine are granted. Ms. Heard does have leave to amend to the extent set forth herein. She lost her counterclaim. She could not revive it from the ashes. It was destroyed. It was annihilated. I mean, it was garbage anyway. But look, she tried. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back in my videos, watch the New York Magic videos that I have in this playlist. There's a playlist dedicated specifically for everything Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, trial, appeal, and a post-appeal and insurance stuff. All of that is in that same folder, if you will, that same playlist. And it is just amazing to watch and read how Amber is trying to create something out of nothing. And Judge Wu is basically like, look, honey, this is not going to fly in my courtroom. I'm sorry. Bye-bye. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck this shit. Judge Wu is having none of it, okay? So that's number one that we need to catch you all up on. So last time, remember, we said it was the tentative motion, or excuse me, the tentative order based on the motions filed by both parties, the motion and the response, and I believe there was a reply. And Judge Wu was like, I'm adopting it, okay? So what I said before now is ordered by the court. Bessie Knox says, Larry needs a drink before dropping truth bombs. Oh, hell to the yes. Oh, that reminds me. How about another drink of the golden chalice? If you have your pint glasses, raise them high. You lost, Amber. Here, have a mega pint. And the losing is not yet over. There's more. There's more. Okay. All right. I'm telling you, water just tastes. There's something about this. It's like, it's not even a pint glass. It's like a chalice of victory, and it's all that positive energy. I'm telling you. It's like the tears of all Amber Heard stands are like, you know, squeezed into this glass, and it's I don't know, desalinated because it's not salty, but it's just so delicious. So is Amber Heard's dessert property, I think you mean desert property, for sale soon? Oh, she sold that like a year and, well, almost a year ago. I think it was like 11 months ago is when she sold it. Okay, all right. You guys ready? Here we go. So that's number one, okay? So that was March 17th, to catch you all up. Like I said, not a whole lot has happened, but then there was this very, very, very interesting find that I had found, okay? Here it is. I don't have an answer. What happened? How did it happen? Was it because Amber wanted that motion to be made and they decided to file it, and when they lost it, they decided to leave, the lawyers, I mean? Or are the lawyers just tired of Amber bossing them around? Or after maybe they lost this motion, Amber went on a rampage and decided to fire everybody? Or maybe Amber decided that she doesn't like these lawyers anymore. Maybe the lawyers decided to bow out. Lots and lots and lots of questions here, and completely unanswered. Any sources that we could potentially have the ability to ask would never talk to us anyway. So we kind of are left to speculate. So this file, it's actually dated March 14th of 2023. So it was literally after the tentative order has been made, the oral arguments have been heard, and the order was about to be entered as a final order. The one that we just read, that the court adopts the ruling and dismissing Amber Heard's counterclaim and blah, blah, blah. Well, um, I don't know. I don't know the Floridian. Maybe that is. I'm not going to read your comment out loud, but if you are not paying attention to your screen, now is the time to pay attention to your screen for a second. I don't know the Floridian. That might be one option. I know a lot of people, by the way, for the record, a lot of people have confessed to me that they apparently my voice is so soothing. They don't even. I mean, my mug is so ugly. I'm aware of that. So they choose to listen to my soothing voice while avoiding my ugly mug while they're doing like their house chores and stuff like that, which I love, by the way. Please continue, or watch me or don't watch me. I don't really care. As long as you're learning, that's all that matters. But yeah, so that's why I was like, oh, it's time to pay attention to your screen. For all those of you who are probably just listening to me and wondering, like, what is he talking about? I just don't want to read the comment out loud, but it's funny. Anyway, so United States District Court, Central District of California, you see it's the same style, New York Marine versus Amber Heard. Request for approval of substitution or withdrawal of counsel. And this is these lawyers right over here, Mark Peterson, Amy Howes, and Kathleen Peterson with Cates Peterson LLP. They're the ones who have been representing her in this case, okay? There's a whole bunch of instructions we're not going to read. This is a standard form. This is a standard form for federal cases in California if you want to withdraw from a case, if you want to leave representation, withdraw from representation, no longer represent a client. Generally, an attorney, that goes into kind of language when you're permitted to withdraw, when you're not permitted to withdraw, and so on and so forth. And here you can see Section 1. Withdrawing attorney. Who is the person making the request? The person is Mark Peterson and the rest of his team. Please complete the following information for the attorney seeking to withdraw. And of course, for California, and this is all public. None of this is private. You can find all of this information on the internet, so I'm not doxing anyone. But this is Mark. This is their address at Cates Peterson. If anything, I'm giving them an advertisement because everyone is going to be coming to them and saying, hooray, good for you. You no longer represent the Wicked Witch of the West, Attorneys for Move-In Travelers Commercial Insurance Company, okay? So they leave. They're asking to be withdrawn. I shouldn't say leave. They haven't left yet, okay? So March 14th, 2023, they file a motion. Now, Section 2 is reserved for who is the new attorney that is going to be stepping in, because you can't simply say, look, I am bowing out and this client does not need representation. Sometimes that's the case. Sometimes it's not the case. Usually it's not the case. And so this section is reserved for, if no new counsel is necessary, they're going to be represented by somebody else, or they're going to be representing pro se. So for example, just like I said, they're going to be representing themselves, or they're going to be represented by new counsel. Hi, can I help you? She brought her toy. She hears me talking, she hears my voice, and naturally she's like, I want to play too. It's my kitty, for those of you not familiar. I don't have like a girlfriend crawling on all fours trying to say hello or anything crazy like that. Although that would be kind of hot, especially if she had like a little collar with a bell. Anyway, I digress. Where was I? Nicholas Booz. Yes. So Nicholas, I don't know who he is and what he's all about, but he is from San Francisco with a firm known as Maynard, Cooper, and Gale. And he is basically stepping in to replace the two or three lawyers, the Petersons, that are bowing out, okay? And of course, signed. You can see the signature is the date of the motion to withdraw by the Petersons has been filed on March 9th, okay? And then there you go, Nicholas Booth. So this is kind of like an agreed, we're withdrawing, you're taking over motion. And they're asking the court, hey, court, if you don't mind, We are going to be stepping away from the case and they're taking over. We no longer want to represent Amber. We have a problem. We have a conflict. We don't want to be here. She fired us, whatever it may be. As you can see, the document is not going to state any of the reasons why, because the court, frankly, does not care. As long as the client is represented, you are not going to have an issue as the court. Okay. So Amber gets left by the Petersons. And by the way, is it just me? Have you all noticed like the names of the people who have been representing Amber and her team for like the longest time? In this case, Travelers and Amber. First, we had Rottenborn, you know. Now we have Nicholas. No offense, buddy. No offense. It's the name, bro. It's the name. I look, I can't hate, but I got to, it's literally my job description as a law tuber. Nicholas Booze. I mean, it's booze as in alcohol, it's booze as in like thumbs down. I don't understand. Peterson was a much better name. Like Peterson is a powerful name, Peterson. Peterson, it's it's a powerful American name. What is a Nicholas Booze? I don't understand. But whatever. Hey, it's just a name. So signed Amy, blah, 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 senior counsel. Okay. So they ask for it. And of course, the court has to respond. Again, this was filed on the same day. This is an order signed by Judge Wu on request for approval of substitution or withdrawal of the attorneys. As you remember, Travelers is the movant. They want to substitute Nicholas Booze, who has been retained, and he's going to be replacing Mark Peterson and Kathleen Peterson and Amy Howes. The order is granted, dated March 14th, signed Judge Wu. So Amber's lawyers, once again, bow the fuck out, are replaced by somebody else, and here we are. Cycle continues to repeat itself. I've checked Pacer. There has not been a whole lot of traction in this case, especially since this substitution. There's been kind of like a little bit of a back and forth. There's a little behind the scenes. There was a hearing. There's a transcript that is going to be available, I think, July 10th. It's probably sealed for, I don't know, record-keeping purposes, privacy purposes, because this case, again, is quite highly publicized because Amber's name is attached to it, and she's losing with flying colors left, right, and center. I mean, it's hard not to pay attention to it. So, and I'm not just saying it because I support Johnny Depp. I am saying it because it's a fact. She, unfortunately for her, she doesn't have a very strong case. Remember, for those of you who may have forgotten, Amber is basically trying to say, look, insurance company, you must pay me despite the fact that I have been found liable, i.e. willful conduct, I have done willful conduct, and the insurance policy, which only covers negligent acts, not willful acts, should still cover me. That's basically her argument, cover to cover. It is a very weak argument. It is a very tentative argument. It is a very losing argument, and she's probably going to lose. Like 85 to 95% certainty at this juncture. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer at this point. It is set for a jury trial in December, I believe December 12th. And between now and then, they're probably going to try and settle, maybe schedule a settlement conference, maybe do something or other. I don't know. But yeah, between now and then, I guess we shall see. I will also be doing a video probably tomorrow, if not later this week, about the second portion, the Travelers versus New York Marine prong. I have not looked into that yet. I want to see what's been happening over there. But as you can see, it's like they knew I was on hiatus. They're like, well, DUI guy is not streaming for the past 10 weeks. We probably shouldn't post anything of significance. We should wait for DUI guy to come back, and then we will resume litigation. And you know what? Smart idea, Amber. The one smart idea that you had is delay your litigations to wait for me to come back. So thank you for that. I appreciate every single one of you. I love all of you, and I will see you all tomorrow. And don't forget, Claire Best this Wednesday, my channel. Bye-bye.